I'm so excited to share one of my favorite books with you. And this is a really special book for a few reasons. You might have read this book. I've read it before too, and I like to read it even again. This is called Gaston, and the words are by Kelly DiPiccio, and the pictures are by Christian Robinson. And Christian Robinson is the same illustrator that drew the pictures for our summer reading program. Did you guys get trees yesterday for the summer reading program?
No.
There's somebody who did read it. You will get them.
No.
He drew the pictures for our summer reading program. All right. And in this book, Gaston feels a little different from his family. And have you guys ever felt different or like you didn't quite belong? You're not sure why?
No.
Raise your hand if you've ever had an experience like that. Michael Harris, what happens when you don't feel like you belong sometimes?
I didn't feel like I was belong because when me and my two brothers and my 5 sisters were playing a game, and I feel real like sad because everybody kept falling because we were playing ninja tag and then we were jumping off the roofs and stuff.
Yeah, and then you didn't feel
into the bushes.
So if you agree and had a feeling like that when you're playing with someone, it didn't quite work, go like this if you agree with Michael Harris. Sanaya, have you ever had an experience where you didn't quite feel like you belonged? So this is the feeling that Gaston has. So we'll do 2 more comments, and then we're going to hear all about Gaston, Michael, and then Cherish. That makes sense. I've had experiences like that too. Cherish, tell us about your experience where you didn't quite feel like you were part of something.
When it was me and my mom and I had It's because when me and my mom were out with somewhere, she was this baby and my cat, and then I was getting mad, and then my brother was happy, then he was baby and my mom and cat, so he was
So in this book it's a little different. You guys had a lot of experiences when you felt mad. In this book, Gaston doesn't feel mad, he just doesn't feel like he belongs. And then you're going to find out how he feels better about his family and himself. So this is Gaston. Just look, it's autographed by the author.
I want to see his armor.
I drew a little Gaston for you.
Let me see.
Mrs. Poodle admired all her new puppies. Fifi, Foo, Ooh La La, and Gaston. Would you like to hear them again? Would you? Would you like to?
Yes.
Oh, fabulous. Good. Fifi, Foo, Ooh La La, and Gaston. Perfectly precious, aren't they?
Yeah.
Mrs. Poodle thought so too. The puppies grew as puppies do. 3 were no bigger than teacups. The 4th was the size of a teapot. The 4th, however, continued to grow and grow until he was the size of a teapot. Mrs. Poodle took pride in teaching her puppies how to be proper pooches. They were taught to sip, never to slobber. Good, well done, very nice. Nice try. They were taught to yip, never yap. Yip, 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 yip. Ruff. Ah, because he was the big one. And he's different.
No.
He doesn't seem to be bothered by it yet. Let's see what happens in the story. And they were taught to walk with grace, never to race. Tiptoe, tippy-toe, tippy-toe, tippy-toe. Whoa! The puppies were also taught to look pretty in pink, nibble at their kibble, and ride in style. Whenever Whatever the lesson was, Gaston always worked the hardest, practiced the longest, and smiled the biggest. There he is. It makes me think that Gaston really, even though it might be hard for him to do some of the things that his sisters are doing, he's really trying, and he's trying his best. Yep, Gaston's a he, and then his sisters are girls. I'm not sure, she's not here right now. Mrs. Poodle was very pleased with her puppies. Fifi, Fufu, Ooh La La, and spring arrived, and the proud mother was eager to show off her darlings. She took them to the park, the very first stroll in public. There was so much to see, ducks and daffodils, and other dogs. Oh dear. Who do we have here? Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. I see a lot of people putting their hands up. They're having some ideas right now. Zena.
Yes, I'm supposed to be here the family.
Oh. Does someone else have a similar idea? Want to add to Zena's idea?
I think that Gaston and Antoinette were I think they they picked Gaston and then I think the mom had an Antoinette and
So what I hear you saying is that maybe they don't look like their family. Are they still family if they don't look like each other? That's a good idea. Let's find out. I think so too. So many good ideas. Looks like everyone wants to tell someone something. Whisper it to someone next to you. Tell someone near you.
I think that's the
I think that yes.
they have the wrong one. That one for aren't you right because
All right, when I start reading, I'll see perfect second graders ready for the next rest of the story. Would you like to see them again?
Yeah.
Rocky, Ricky, Bruno, and Antoinette. This was more than a little awkward. The mothers sized up their puppies. The puppies sized up each other. It seems there's been a terrible mistake, said Mrs. Bulldog, breaking the silence. Oi, oi, said Mrs. Poodle, who agreed sadly. Whatever shall we do? Mrs. Bulldog could not come up with an answer. I guess we'll have to let them decide, she replied. Gaston and Antoinette were young, but they could see there had been a terrible mix-up. The two puppies circled around the tree in the group. Gaston walked with grace. Antoinette raced. Gaston yipped. Antoinette yapped. And when they finally came to a stop, the puppies traded places. There. That looked right. It just didn't feel right. That evening, Antoinette tried to fit in with her sisters, but she did not like anything proper, precious, or pink. Phew! This pink tastes awful. Phew! And on the other side of town, Gaston tried to fit in with his new brothers, but did not like anything brutish, or brawny, or brown. Ick! Me. So now you're having an idea? Why? Two people said that, so I think you guys are onto something. Why would it be important that they trade places? Jaden, and then Jameer, and then Michael, and if we need to keep going, we'll have more.
Because that one doesn't like brown, that one doesn't like their house, and then the other one doesn't like them.
So it's something to say, like, kind of like being who you are, it's okay? I can see that. Michael, were you next?
I was
My bad. Go ahead.
I think they should trade places again because Gaston lie and then I think these two should trade places again because he likes what they like and she likes what they like.
Sounds like a good explanation, Michael. Last thoughts.
I think they should trade because the consider your bottom Michael to trade him and it just did opposite.
Michael just gave me an idea. He said they should trade not just because they don't like, kind of, it's not for them, but because their poodle moms might miss them and their bulldog moms might be sad. Ooh, let's find out. Antoinette and Gaston were the only ones who were having a hard time adjusting. Look at the faces of the moms. They must miss the cubs. The next morning, Mrs. Poodle forgot all about being proper and raced right to the park. Mrs. Bulldog was already there, waiting with her burly brood. "It seems we have made a terrible mistake," she nearly shouted. "Oi, oi," Mrs. Poodle agreed happily. This time, Gaston and Antoinette wasted no time trading places. There. That looked right, and it felt right. From that day forward, the families met at the park every afternoon to play. Ricky, Rocky, Bruno, and Antoinette taught the poodle puppies a thing or two about being tough. Likewise, Fifi, Fufu, Ooh-la-la, and Gaston taught the bulldogs a thing or two about being tender. Aw, it's so sweet. I've been thinking that Tinder must be kind because he's helping us grow this. And many years later, when Gaston and Antoinette fell in love and had puppies of their own, they taught them to be whatever they wanted to be. Sophia says it's bulldogs mixed with poodles. Like this one has a poodle tail. So now I feel like this line right here helps me think about the story a little bit. It says they taught them to be whatever they want. So was it okay that Gaston was more like his sisters? Oh, let's try to. Was it okay that Gaston was more like his sisters?
Yes.
Yeah. Was it okay that Antoinette liked to play with her brothers?
Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys. All right, second graders, please find yourself in one row. So, meaning if you're in your carpet square, so I can call you by color to do our next activity. Perfect. Blue's ready. Green's ready. Orange is ready. All right. Turn your bodies. All right. This table is going to be orange, but you're going to miss it. If you're fighting yourself and being angry, you're going to miss the really cool stuff we're going to do. Let's go with this. Here we go. So here you're going to talk about the library. You can tell me something you like about the library. Something you wish we had in the library. This is your choice to talk about the library. Draw your favorite cover of your book. What part of Gaston did you enjoy? Now this is a poster, so you can write on the side. Maybe you want to write over here. Is that okay? As long as, if you write something, you have to sign your
name.
You got it. I can tell blue row is ready for this. This one is talk about the read aloud. That one over there is your favorite character. Any book. Now, you're going to go to the table I tell you. And then when you hear the rain stick, we're going to switch. This one is the first table. So orange, come on over. This table is the second table. Green, come on over. You can start as soon as you get there. Third table is blue, come on over. Fourth table is purple, come on over. Purple, you have a lot of people, so I'm going to split you up a little bit. Here's
Michael's not in purple.
So I need some, I understand. Over here, Michael Williams.